So Nigerian Kuti. You know, this thing, I'm telling you guys, the game where they play for a year.
Ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàsán, ẹ káalẹ́ níbikíbi tẹ́ bá ti ń wò wá lórílẹ̀-èdè àgbáyé. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ìkànnì Da Expression TV. Gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe mọ̀ pé a máa mú ìròyìn wá sétí ìgbọ́yín gẹ́gẹ́ bó bá ṣe ń tẹ̀ wá lọ́wọ́. Ìta mú wá fún yín lọ́tẹ̀ yìí ó tún kà màmá. Ẹ wá nǹkan fìdílé tàbí kẹ́ fìdílé kan, ẹ má gbàgbé láti subscribe sórí ìkànnì yìí. Ṣẹ́rí kíní tó dàbí agogo tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ yín yẹn, ẹ má gbàgbé láti tẹ̀. Á lè máa ta yín lólobó gbogbo ìgbà kí ìgbà tá a bá ti fi ìròyìn sí orí ìkànnì yìí. Ẹ máa bá wa ká lọ.
The game where they play for year. Listen, if you don't even understand how deep this game is, you don't understand how deep the interests that are facilitating this mayhem. You know, you guys don't understand. Anyway, but what me I will not accept, regardless of anybody's understanding or lack of understanding, is that we are promoting the fact that the United States and France and Britain on one side and Russia on the other side should come and be doing what they are doing in Ukraine to us in Africa. Why should Africans use our life to determine who is better, Europe and or Russia? Why should we use our lives? Why should they use African lives to play this game? See, the suffer. You know what I asked you before? I say the suffer one that they suffer for Africa never do. If Ukrainians they experience what they experience, at least they have 24. They have enjoyed 24-hour electricity before. Ukrainians have enjoyed potable water before, good road, all those kinds of things. We never enjoyed anything before. Yet you want us to go through more debt and why do you hate yourself so much? Now let me tell you something about African military and tell you some part of your history. You know, if you don't forget, in the 50s and 60s, the movement of the Pan-Africanist movement of liberation, the Pan-Africanist movement of liberation is one that called for the nationalization of all of Africa's resources. From Nkrumah to Olympio in Togo, who went through the first coup because he was the strongest, one of the strongest socialists in Africa, to Sekou Touré in Guinea, to Sankara in Burkina Faso. All the leaders in Africa, except the Nigerian leaders, those ones, they have been primed. Nigeria was called this, our country was called the slave coast for a reason. Slave coast, bro. I tell you, the leaders of Nigeria have been different. They're different from all other African leaders. We are under special breed of European puppets. But you people don't understand that, but that's not the reason why I'm talking about. Me, I don't lose track. Me, I don't go over digress. Now, while these patriotic, nationalist, Pan-Africanist, socialist leaders were remodeling Africa for the benefit of African people, Lumumba, everybody building an Africa, Samora Michel fighting, everybody, Amilcar Cabral, everybody doing their duty to bring Africa to its people, to take the resources of, say the resources of Africa must first of all benefit African people. It was the military that killed all of them. Between 1960 and 1966, all these men that fought for the liberation of our continent, that said that the resources of Burkina, Sankara, that all of you are always mentioning. I don't know why you always mention Sankara when I'm talking. Say Sankara cannot be military. Okay, let's even assume that Sankara was military, which I believe, you know, was his only flaw. He was in the military, but I'm telling you that Sankara was not military. My father's friend, Uncle Tom, you know, like Uncle Thomas, you know, some of us are personal with him like that. You know, he might have been in the military, but the guy was not a military man. When they saw that he was not a military man, then the military immediately killed him. It's the same military that killed him. You understand what I'm saying? It's the same military that killed him. It's the same military that killed him. Okay, so it was this same military, Afrifa and Achampong in Ghana, that overthrew Nkrumah. And their reason was that they were nationalizing the resources of their people. All the Oyibo wey they pursue come out for the big companies, this military now bring all of them back. Which government implemented SAP, Structural Adjustment Program? I keep telling all of you, our reality today is based on the Structural Adjustment Program that we are still going through. It's still that program that is being run in Africa right now. SAP, fella call them Sock African people. It was the different military governments of Africa that implemented it. This same institution, now the people that are generals today were the sergeants of yesterday, were the lieutenants of yesterday. How many of them refused the order to sabotage their own country? These men that you are hailing today, that are generals today, they served under people like Obasanjo as lieutenants and sergeants. Yes, today they are now generals. You think that they are different? They were the ones that it's not Obasanjo by himself and come bomb our powerhouse. Not be sergeant and lieutenant and recruit he go send. These are the men today that are the new generals. Did they refuse the order to kill Lumumba, to arrest Lumumba, lock Lumumba in a prison, then transport him to Shombe? They transport and go meet Shombe for Katanga, a #1 enemy. They beat Lumumba to death. These people. They didn't shoot him. They beat him to death. Buried him. They went to exhume his body again after they buried him. They poured soak him inside acid drum after removing 2 of his teeth to give the Belgian people as evidence. Now soak him inside acid to dissolve his body forever. His family did not even see his body to bury. This is Mobutu. This is African military for you. This is these people that. So now, how can this same institution that killed all our leaders for saying that Africans should control their resources come and tell you today that France that they helped, these people are the ones that help people like countries like France, that help countries like Britain, that help countries like the United States to grip Africa tight. After our ancestors, our real freedom fighters, remove us from their shackles of colonialism. Now say they must give us economic freedom, join. Fight institutionalizing the things that we needed to get economic freedom from Europeans. It was this military that killed all of them on behalf of Europeans. Locked them up, do coup d'etat, and they ruled Africa from 1966 all up until 1999. See, that's how you know that these people are always under one kind of order. Together and then they start, together and then they stop. Now together they started again. Between 1963 and 1966, all of Africa was under military rule. Now it don't start again. 2021, now they start. Now before 2024, all Africa again is under military rule. Bam. But you don't want to think. I don't want to think on our head. I don't want to think on our head where, because in our garden, don't tell me I want rubbish. Everybody's running helter-skelter. Not asking the right questions of these military bastards. Telling them to shut up and take several seats. Will Putin allow a coup in Russia? Or is it everybody in Russia that is happy with Putin's rule? Is Putin allowing the people of Chechnya to secede from his country without giving them a bloody fight? He's occupying the whole of Chechnya today. Is that the Putin that wants to come and give you benevolent help? More they think, man, because our future is at stake. We act like because many of you, African life means nothing to you. And you don't know that. Now, don't say if African life means nothing to you, that means say automatically your own life too means nothing to you. And that is the problem all of you have. Your lives mean nothing. All these people talking shit, saying military should come back. Your life means nothing. You don't care. You don't respect anything African. So what's the worst that can happen? Military will come and they will just be killing African people now. That's all. That's all. But these same people, I can bet you if the USA coup happened for France, They will insult the coup people. They will say, stand up for France. They will... if they just say coup happen for England, they will say, stand up for England. We don't want coup in England. Do you know that in 1961, the United States of America orchestrated a coup in France to try and remove Charles de Gaulle? Because Charles de Gaulle, a whole France, Charles de Gaulle was against US capitalist system in this country and didn't want NATO to be in France. The US orchestrated a coup against him with General Charles. Go and check it. His own name is Charles de Gaulle, the general that they led this coup, General Charles. Go and read how did de Gaulle stop that coup. He called on the people of France. The people of France marched the whole road to protect their democracy. Because Charles de Gaulle wasn't there. They did not like Charles de Gaulle. The people of France, they hate him. They liked him, but they did not send him because he ain't going to be a better leader like that. And his own management of the whole Algeria affair. But when he said coup, America was behind it, sponsoring a coup against their ally based on interest of the American corporations. The military should take several seats. They need to step back in Africa. The military has no business in running any nation in Africa. They have no business. Now the game where Asiwaju don't play, the game where President Tinubu don't play for Nigeria. You know, I understand the game. As ECOWAS president, now you know, boom, you don't enter, you don't give an ECOWAS president. You know, say Nigeria not to go fight any war for Niger. APC is the majority of the Senate. APC is the majority in the House of Representatives. So this was the game, always the game. We don't push the war out now, but Senate don't stop him. Your own Senate, your own guys. If they won't go that war, if Nigeria won't go that war, I sure say Senate no go talk say no, where they go share everybody the right way they need to share them. You know, but then are the excuse not to go. Oh, my Senate nice make I not go. My Senate has stopped me. But you know, let's help the other countries that are there. Yeah, bring money. Let's share that. That's the game. That's the game. That's the game. I get it. Bravo, brava, 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 brava. Ha ha. As they say, brava, brava. But the military in Africa needs to take several seats. Even Putin himself continuously calls the government of Ukraine illegitimate. He said because the Orange Revolution of 2014 was a coup. It wasn't a revolution. He said a coup d'etat. Even though the civilians were the ones leading it, he said a coup d'etat. He said because they removed a legitimate president without election. And I agree with him completely. I agree with him. If the revolution truly believed that they had the support of the nation behind it, it will meet with that Yamalenko. His name was Yamalenko. You will meet with him. You will meet with him head on at the polls with the country behind them to remove him. But they knew that they didn't have the number, so they had to wuru out with it. So I agree with Putin. It was a coup. They didn't do it well. Okay, it's bad. I agree. So Uncle Putin, why are you accepting the same thing in Niger? Why are you hosting people that have done coup from Burkina Faso and Guinea and Mali and all these countries? Why are you hosting them in your country and saying you are there to support them? If in your own backyard you are saying it is wrong. If in your own backyard you are saying it is wrong. This is because they want to use, and I don't know, say, negotiations have started. Preliminary negotiations about Ukraine have started. Ukraine and Russia will begin negotiations soon. Ukraine and the West will begin negotiations soon. Putin needs leverage. He needs something to say, okay, remove your support of Ukraine and I'll remove my support from Where would he have said? He had nowhere to say. So you have to say, you have to start something in Africa so you can have leverage. I'll remove my support from Niger. I'll remove my support from Burkina Faso. But by that time, thousands of people have died. Tens of thousands of Africans have died. Are we going to continue to allow the West, be it Russia, be it America, be it France, be it Britain, when are we going to stop allowing them use African lives as leverage for anything? They've used it as commodity. They've used it for... And we are here allowing these people to use us for leverage. Is that what we are worth to this world? Leverage in negotiations, public peace negotiations with Ukraine. African life must also be leveraged and mortgaged for nothing. Well, me, I'm first of all, I'm happy. Let me say thank you to the Senate. You know, thank you, Nigerian Senate, for first of all refusing to go to any stupid war. Because I don't know the military tactics. We have two insurgency in our country. Hip-hop insurgency, Boko Haram insurgency. In fact, the Boko Haram insurgency is close to the Niger border. Our military enter the Niger now, they fight. We'll be fighting on two fronts because we'll have Niger in front of us and Boko Haram behind us. Is that not a disaster for the army itself? What if Niger starts dropping weapons for the Boko Haram people behind? I mean, the possibility of catastrophe is just too much. And the African lives will just be waste as usual. Just the waste as usual. And they're happy. They're happy. You know? They're happy. Anyway, I don't thank the Nigerian Senate now. But me, I don't come play me local because I fear Nigerian elite. I fear you people. I know people know they fear and I don't know what they me, I'm afraid of you people. Because if this one I know when I talk now because I won't negotiate back. If Macron now comes say, okay, I'm gonna take €1 billion now, share for ourselves. Now go share 1 billion now, tomorrow I come and say, we are going to war. The president has resent the request. We have looked at it and war. When I don't try that way, I don't praise now. I don't thank you now for rejecting whatever game APC just played now, whatever game una played just now, whatever una collect, I hate you now. Una just leave her like that. Because definitely Macron will say, President Tinubu, I was expecting your army, the biggest army in West Africa, to come to our aid in Niger to stop and fight this war. Tinubu say, no say Tinubu and Macron, they don't be friends. But say, Macron already, my guy, I wanted to call. My boys were ready. But it's the Senate that refused for me. You know, let the Constitution breathe. Let the Constitution breathe. We cannot just use force without the approval of the Senate. That's the Constitution. Let the Constitution breathe. Because this is the game I'm saying right now. But you people don't come and slap me in the face. Me, I can't look now. I'll just say tomorrow you are revisiting. Macron don't do the right. No, I believe say they don't do Macron local. They don't play Macron local. Macron. I don't see when you go hear that news say Nigerian Senate talks one thing. He go say, God damn. And Nigerian politicians, they do refund. They really do refund. They don't pay. Anyway. Yes, so Putin, Macron, Joe Biden, all of you, CIA, KGB, I mean FSB, they call them now. All of FFP, just let Africans breathe. Let Africans breathe. Let us breathe. It's been 400 and something years, almost 500 years, with your boot on our neck. Let us breathe. Haba. Let us breathe. Anyway, this life is good that we did it. I'm happy. I'll go to bed happier than I was, before I did the live. So yeah, what I don't mind on this military, they have nothing to offer. In fact, they ruled Africa. All of Africa was ruled by military government from 1966 to 1999. They start the same, they end the same. In those 30-something years, what did we achieve? What did we achieve? Oh, I beg. Any military, people won't fight for African people, must first start the fight from within the military. Now, inside the military, go first and say, military, they fight themselves. Military, they fight themselves. We can't say they're serious. Okay, they are purging the corruption. Because, as I said, if it's because of corruption that they say they are doing coup, nobody is more corrupt than the military. Nobody, no institution. I mean, I'm not forgetting that military, they give money, they go buy gun during Boko Haram. Army, they reach front of the place, they go shoot, bullet, no, they start, gun, no, they walk, nothing. And don't forget, not be Nigerian army be that. Now they quick forget something. Now they quick forget. That's not that forget, say, now the same military people will kill all our leaders to hand over our resources to Igbo people. Now not telling us that they want to take the resource back from you. No, thunder fire. Fall back, fall behind the people. Fall behind the people. Imagine if to say Nigerian military come outside now, say, we know we are on the side of the people. We could accommodate these leaders. That is say any Nigerian leader go wait till any Nigerian politician go wake up the next morning for Nigeria. But if they work out even near their car, you don't try work out near governor car, because it's really all this go strong face for you, like say I never see Nigerian army where they protect all these governor, all these politicians. I never see one where they smile to the people before. I beg. Now, what ECOWAS needs to do, really, before I go, what they should have done, if not say they won't play Macron, if not say Tinubu won't play Macron local. Nobody will tell you they never collect Macron. Macron is on what it go away, what is we send it. No reform policy. Chai. What the African Union should do, since ECOWAS already fuck up, what the African Union should now step in to do, instead of escalating violence and creating more division, is to immediately call for, first of all, the AU should go into Niger, go into Burkina Faso, go into all these nations, meet with their civil society. They never tell us, say, there are no good people in these countries to rule us. They are there. You can't say they are not good people. So it's time now to be honest. Go in the country, look at the civil organizations, look at the opposition politicians, those that have not been part of the mess, that are willing now to serve their people. Do a meeting with them, find out what those people want, then do a meeting with the military, convey what those people can do and what they want, and see how it aligns with the interest of the people that did coup. And while we are doing this, we tell both Russia and the Western and NATO to stay away from Africa, that we will handle it ourselves. Because if Russia is not guaranteeing that it will give all these people guns, they will not say they want to fight. If the West is not guaranteeing that they want to give Nigeria and all this one, Senegal and Ivory Coast and everybody gun, we won't want to fight neither. So AU should ban any weapons to both sides and mediate between the civil society and the juntas. And the junta should give clear time frame of no more than 6 months. Political program, invest in the political parties. Yes, the nation should pay for the political parties so that outside influences or private influence doesn't pay for the political party. The nation should, out of its budget, pay for these political parties to establish themselves and begin their campaign. And whoever wins, let's start a new dawn. Let's start a new dawn. in Africa. Let's find those people that know what they are doing, that want to serve their people, and then support them. The EU should support them. Their governments should support them. You understand? And we begin to create a new people-orientated system. This is what we need to do. You understand? This is what we must do as African people. Anyway, that's what I have to say. Not all this posturing left, right, and center, trying to find a way to kill ourselves some more. Are you people not tired of watching African people dying for nothing? So please, this is what we need our people to do. Go into these countries. There's no need to talk about war. There's no need to threaten ourselves.